Social norms have begun to change, they've shifted, and the boundaries of protecting personal space have been reset. And I get it.
Well, that is the former U.S. Vice President Joe Biden acknowledging that times have changed after 4 women came forward and said they felt uncomfortable when he violated their personal space. Now, none of the women have accused Biden of sexual assault, but their stories have dogged Biden as he considers a bid for the Democratic nomination in 2020. And in the video you saw that Biden posted on Twitter, the former VP did not apologize, but he says he now, quote, gets it. But does he? Because 2 days after posting that video, Biden started another speech like this.
I just want you to know I had permission to hug Lonnie. We had permission.
Now, some political observers have said that joke was inappropriate, tone deaf, if you will, given the criticisms that Biden is facing. And for more, let's bring in the U.S. political panel in Washington. Linda Feldman, the Washington bureau chief for the Christian Science Monitor, and Jill Lawrence, commentary editor and columnist for USA Today. Welcome to the two of you.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Listen, Jill, I want to begin with you here and start by asking you to tell us a bit more about these allegations, because it began not with a Republican, as some may suspect, but with a Democrat originally from Nevada by the name of Lucy Flores.
That's right. Joe Biden, as vice president, had gone out to Nevada to help her at a rally. She was a state legislator running for lieutenant governor. And they were at a rally and they were waiting to go on. And he thought she was nervous, apparently, and she felt his hands come on her shoulders. She felt he was smelling her hair. And then he kissed her hair, and she freaked out, but she didn't say anything until now. And so, now we have Lucy Flores and many other women coming forward saying, yeah, this is what happened, and it made me very uneasy. So instead of calming her nerves, he ended up making her even more nervous at the time.
Mm-hmm. And underlining the fact that the women that have come forward talk about feeling uncomfortable. They're not accusing Joe Biden of sexual assault. Right. But it does raise the question, Linda, about the timing of all this. Why are these allegations coming out now? Because we know that Joe Biden is considering a run for the Democratic nomination in 2020. Is there any political motivation to these stories that we're now hearing?
So I don't know that she's trying to squelch his candidacy, but she came out now precisely because Joe Biden, by all appearances, is running for president. And she just wanted to call attention to his behavior. So the timing, of course, is terrible. And it's actually stunning to me that 9 days after she wrote that piece about his behavior toward her, we're still talking about this. I mean, it's just amazing how much attention, and it was spoofed on Saturday Night Live last night. So it's this is a tough time for Joe Biden, and he's not helping himself by the fact that he hasn't apologized.
Not apologizing to them directly, you're right. And now, if we look at opinion polls, though, and Jill, correct me if I'm wrong here, it seems that Joe Biden, even though not announcing officially that he's going to run for the nomination, he is leading from most polls in terms of possible Democrats running against Donald Trump in 2020, at least up until now. Is that still true?
Yeah, that's true, although it's important to point out that these are national polls and mostly a measure of name recognition. And obviously he's very well known, as is Bernie Sanders, who's run before and done very well. So, these primaries are state contests, and so is the general election. And it's very interesting because if you look at some of the state polls, for instance, Iowa, which has the very first primary season contest, you'll see that Joe Biden is maybe 1 to 2 points ahead, and instead of 7 or 8. And the reason is that a lot of Democrats who are running for the nomination have already made multiple trips to Iowa, and the voters there are getting to know them. So I think we're going to see, that these polls are going to change. And it's often said that you're most popular before you actually get in. And we certainly saw that with Hillary Clinton. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it with Joe Biden.
Now, it's interesting to hear all this criticism even before he throws his hat in. And as you said, Linda, Biden has not really apologized to the 4 women who have complained about being uncomfortable around him. But we also need to point out that he's also being scrutinized at the same time for the way the Judiciary Committee that he chaired back in 1991 handled the Anita Hill testimony during the Clarence Thomas confirmation. And it's been said Joe Biden appeals to working class Americans, but does he appeal to the next generation of Democratic voters?
So I was reviewing the polling on that, and he does, in polls that break down the numbers based on age, he does do less well among younger voters than his numbers overall. And I polled my own little focus group of my adult children who are millennials, and they both
plus or minus 5%.
Right, exactly. So completely unscientific, but their view is that his time, i.e. his generation, he's 76 years old. He'd be 78 by the time he'd be inaugurated in 2021. They just think his time is past. They think well of him, and the handsy thing with him having his hands all over people, men, women, children, everybody, he touches everybody. That's not a factor. They just think he's too old.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do wonder, though. You say that the handsy thing is not a factor, Linda, but I do wonder, this story that percolates, as you say, it was featured on SNL last night. He's still not announced his run. Is this going to prevent Joe Biden from throwing his hat into the ring? I'll ask that of both of you. Jill, I'll begin with you.
I think he's going to do it, and he's pretty much said, we're going to see if I can win a primary. The problem is he's done this twice before. He's actually run, and he hasn't won primaries. In fact, he hasn't gotten very much traction at all. And now he, because of his stature as a former vice president, I think he felt it was fine to wait and be the last person in. But the other candidates, and there's a huge field, are grabbing up a lot of talent in terms of organizing and fundraising and everything else. And so I think he's going to have some trouble with that, and I don't feel like his odds are terrific, but I think that the candidates are all kind of searching. There's got to be some medium empathy way of doing this between what Joe Biden is doing and throwing paper towels at people in Puerto Rico after a hurricane. I mean, it's an interesting time for a candidate.
Linda?
So by all appearances, he's going to run. I mean, I wouldn't rule out that he changes his mind, but Joe Biden has always wanted to be president. I mean, this would be his third run, assuming he does get in. And he just wants to have at Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump has been just pounding on Barack Obama and his legacy since the moment he began to run. And Joe Biden, you can just see it. The guy is a politician through and through. He would have run last time if not for the death of his son. And this is it for him. It's now or never, so what has he got to lose?